All right, everybody, coming at you with video number 2. Just want to say thank you to everybody who's taken the time to look at the first video. I know it was kind of long at 20 minutes, but hey, you know, it's my first time doing this stuff. We'll get it to be a little bit more succinct here. So today, what we're going to be doing is working on part 2 of the BBS wheel fix. I'm going to show you really what the damage was, and could have been quite a dangerous situation for me and could have really lost the car. And what happened when I was driving. We're going to talk about the new bolts going in, and we're going to talk about torque settings today and why are they important. So, you know, a little bit of a learning experience, a little bit of a fix. May have to run down to the auto parts store, get some oil and maybe a fresh battery, and we're going to see if this puppy's going to start today. Hopefully I have enough time, and we'll all get going. So what up, everybody? Welcome back. Video number 2. Yay! I was pretty stoked to get this box in the mail yesterday. It came in. They always ship so quickly. My homeboy Eric at BBS, who runs their motorsports group, is actually helped me a lot throughout the time that I've been refurbishing these wheels. He helped me kind of spec and get the right parts together, and this has happened more than once, so he's been very active. He speaks to me on the phone. He's a really cool dude. And this time he included a whole set of stickers. What's up, dude? Thank you very, very much. We're gonna have to see, you know, where on the side of the car a little bit of BBS action goes. You know, maybe it's right here or something like that, or you know, maybe up here, back here, down in the front. I don't know. We'll have to pull out the car and take a look at, you know, where these go. These go on the wheels, but I don't know if I'm gonna put them on the wheels. I guess I could always take them off. Set me enough bolts to redo both the rear wheels here, and just some, these are the washers that go in there. I don't know if I'm going to need all these, but to be honest, I definitely need some spares in case this happens again. All right, I found myself in tight places already. I just loosened the lugs on here so that when I get them up here, it won't be so hard. But now comes the challenging part, because, again, I'm using this temporary jack from the Subaru. Try and get under here, and there really is not a lot of space. This is actually a factory jack point right here, but this is definitely not going to fit underneath with that extension piece on the top, and that kind of leaves back under here. That's where the frame rail comes out and meets up with the it starts to be exposed from the fiberglass pan that's up there. So I'm going to try and see if I can fit this jack down in there and lift this car up. Ooh, it's going to be tight. All right, time to MacGyver something. Be back. Okay, just a little bit of progress here. I actually figured out that the wheel right here, the tire is holding air. And it's just holding a little bit of air, and I know if I moved the car at all, it would probably all come right out. But for this moment in time, the car held some air, and I was able to put enough in it to raise the car up enough that with just a little bit of lifting at the same time as I push this in, I got the jack underneath the factory lifting point right here. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. Let's get this tire off, and I'll show you some damage. All right, bad news. I'm definitely not driving today, no matter how hard I try. I just pulled the tire off, so as I said, I put some air in it. It lifted the car up enough that I could squeeze the jack under there, and I just pulled the tire off, and oh man, look at this. Look at this bubbling on the tire. I mean, that's crazy. I've never seen anything like that before. And this was like a brand new tire. That was its only drive that it did, and I've never seen this happen quite so bad. You can see inside here, there's bolts missing. These were sheared off. That's really the damage that was done from the bolts coming loose, but I don't see how that would necessarily cause these tires to bulge like that. I mean, this is a brand new tire. You can still see it has the sticker on it right there in the groove. Jeez, I think I'm going to be calling Bridgestone and giving them some crap. First, I got to call the place where I bought the tire and had it installed. So, yeah, thing after thing, it just keeps on happening. Oh well. Cool, guys. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm still gonna fix the wheel and replace all the bolts, and I'm gonna finish that on the other side too. And then I don't know. I'll see if I can charge the battery since I'm not trying to do it today. I'll see if there's any charge left and we can see if there's some life in it. But God, look at these bulges. Oh, look at that. It gives you an idea. Look at it from the top. Holy shit. What the fuck? I'm lucky I didn't die. I'm lucky I didn't get hurt. I'm really lucky I didn't get hurt. I'm gonna deflate this guy. Alright, thanks. Okay, now the next step is getting these little bolts out. Some of them don't have backs on them, as you look on this side. So you can imagine it can be difficult. Some of them, most of them I think I can get out no problem. But there might be a couple of them that are a little stubborn. And dealt with this before. So let's see here. The that one that has a back, that has a back, that has a back. This one does not. And I can actually just press up against it with my finger and it screws out the front enough so I can grab the threads and give it a little twist. How about that? So I got to pull all these other ones out. I imagine there's going to be one that's a little more difficult and presents itself to be a challenge, but hey, one at a time. Keep on going at it. Alright, I'll check back in once I got all these out and I'm twerking down the new ones. Hey, oh, almost out. Yeah, there you go. That's all that was left. All that was left. So difficult. Alright, I was able to get a few of these things out. You see them on the ground there, but there's a few that are just being really stubborn. So I think what I'm going to wind up doing here is taking all the bolts out and then pull the center from the wheel. When I do that, it will allow it to probably get easier access to some of those bolts that still have backings on them. And then I'll start fresh with a whole new set of bolts. Alright guys, talk to you in a bit. It's funny who you never know who your neighbors are sometimes, and a lot of days, especially in California, people don't really talk to their neighbors all that much. What I actually have seen since I moved down here is there's kids around, they're playing on their bikes outside with their friends, and they go down to the beach a lot, which is super cool. Up in Silicon Valley, kids were more interested in their iPads and learning how to code, but they're probably going to be wealthy someday if they don't burn out. But I was talking to my neighbor, he's like, oh, you're working on some three-piece rims over there? I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I used to be the CEO of HRE. How cool is that? So he was telling me his stories about working there, which was really cool. But yeah, hey, you never know who somebody is, and that's a great life lesson to have. Don't ever prejudge anybody. Alright guys, I'll be back. Alright, so all these bolts are out now. It's interesting to see what happened because, see this is, that's one of the full-size bolts, and well, you can see what broke out. In some cases there was still a back on the bolt, but there wasn't a front, so it's pretty lucky, I guess, that I didn't get into an accident or anything along those lines. Very happy that I made it out safe. So I'm about to split the rim here, and let's see here. I wish I had a tripod. All right. So here's an interesting little tip I found out. There is a screw still in here, and all this is a balled up piece of tape. Very small balled up piece of tape. And what I found was it's sticky enough to get a hold of it, and I can just wedge it in there and turn it. And as I turn it, it's turning the screw through, which is very cool. Look at that. See it down in there? Just not quite enough to grab onto on the back side, but it's going through. And I'm going to have to do the same thing with the last two screws. Oh, and very cool. Oh, this is super, super awesome. So I said that my neighbor said he was the CEO of HRE. Then he came right back out and he was like, here dude, have a sweatshirt. Oh my god. So HRE's in the next town over. I live in Carlsbad. HRE's over in Vista. And yeah, dude, look, check it out. He brought me a hoodie. I am so stoked on this. This was like the coolest thing. He's like the nicest guy too, so it just made me really happy. Check that out. Maybe it's a couple years old, but he said he stopped being the CEO there like 3 years ago. But yeah, dude, that's super cool. He's such a nice guy. All right, I finally got all these bolts out. Going all the way around, which is really good. The tape trick that I had actually worked really well. It was just really slow. It's probably been maybe 45 minutes since I got them all. So what I'm going to do is take the new bolts that I have over here, over there, and start bolting it back onto the wheel. And let's talk about torque. Let's try that over again. So let's look at the bolts and the thickness. The bolt actually fits in here, and you could go either from the front or the back. I come in through the back and I place this on the front of the lip of the rim. And then it's supposed to be torqued to 155 foot-pounds. And what happens at 155 foot-pounds with this particular bolt is the threads stretch a little bit and they actually lock into place. Much like if you were to use Loctite or something along those lines. But I've talked to the manufacturer and he was very specific that if you were able to get it to that 155 foot-pounds, or excuse me, inch-pounds, that the bolt will hold itself and it shouldn't come loose. So that's really why you would torque something, and that's the purpose of torquing, so that the threads stretch to a point where they lock themselves, and that's what happens. So here's the wheel. And so now I'm about to put new bolts all the way back in and through. Another interesting part about the wheel is the back and where it's painted. As you can see, there's no paint on the metal, and there's no paint right here along where these make contact with the metal lips. And that is because you want to have metal on metal, and you don't want to have the paint on metal. If you have the paint on metal, there's always a chance that it will sort of work itself loose. But if it's metal on metal, the heat kind of moves through it better. It's probably just the easiest way to say that the heat transfers through and things kind of expand and contract. So that's why there's no paint on these specific sections going all the way around, because that's where metal makes contact with metal. So yeah, just something else. All right, second video. I think I'm bringing it to a wrap. I got all the new bolts in and torqued them right. So with this tire thing, I'm gonna have to go to find a new Bridgestone shop down here and figure out how to get these warranted, because that bubbling issue is pretty darn bad. Didn't want to hurt myself. And that's where I think I'm going to end it. So second video done. Got a little bit of progress, and then I'm going to do the next video doing the last wheel, battery replacement, and startup. So thanks for everybody for taking time to watch, and I will check you later soon. Over and out. See ya.